Hey y'all,
Hey y'all.
What's up? This is El Presidente.
this is your boy, gospel icon, Maharo Peoples Jr.
It's Lady, also known as Leah, and you're now watching.
And you're listening to Speaking Plain
And
English.
the Speaking Plain English with your host Roberta.
Your beautiful host, Roberta Johnson.
With my homegirl, Roberta, on Praise.fm.
On Praise FM.
On Praise FM.
Hey, hello, good afternoon, happy Saturday, and welcome to another episode of Speaking Plain English. I am your host, Roberta, and I am excited. We're going to actually expedite this just a smidge, but not too much, because we do want to get into the discussion for today. First, before we get into anything, I do want to welcome everyone who's here. Welcome YouTube, welcome Facebook, welcome Praise FM, welcome, well, Instagram's not on today. But if you catch it through the replay, and in case I get to upload it, welcome to all of our audio only listeners, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, all of you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people who have taken the time to either listen live, watch live, or if you're, catching the replay. If you're here, I would love for you to just say hello and let me know that you're here. And, just so that I can acknowledge that you're here and say hi back to you. Also, I want to go over our announcements as we usually do. We're going to start with letting you guys know that if you are a Black author, artist, or business owner, and you would like a product that you have, or if you have a service, or you have an event or anything, or just if you want to just advertise your business, you want to talk about your business on the show, or your music, or your book, or any of those things. If you want to go ahead and do any of that, reach out to me at doyh.marketing@gmail.com, or you can comment here, or you can send a DM message. There's lots of ways to reach us, okay? So that we can, get chit chat talking, so that we can get you on the show, okay? So that's that. Also, if you are looking to, like, if you have someone that you want to celebrate, if somebody is starting a new business and you want to shout them out, if there's a birthday or an anniversary, or just a hello, that you want to do for someone, and you would like to do that in a big way, to show somebody that you see them, and that you're proud of them and you're supportive of them, you can also do that here. You can reach out to us for that. Another announcement that I would like to make is that I've mentioned it before, but Praise FM is actually hosting a Praise Fest. There's actually a few of them that's going around, but I'm helping to put together one in New Jersey, in Newark, New Jersey, and more details for that will come, but it will be in September. So if you are a independent or gospel artist, if you are and then you would like to, you'd like to be participate as part of the show. If you are you have a business, a product, or something that you want to, sell your products, if you want to be a vendor at the show and have a table so that you can have if you can, then you want to have your product sold there, get you some opportunities to make some exchange. Let me know, and I'll send you the information for that. Also, if you would just like to, if you're not able to be a part of that, or you would just like to sponsor us, you would like to, because trust me, it costs Muncie. It costs a nice chunk of change to do everything that we would like to do, and we want to make sure that we're doing it in a major way. So if you are someone who would like to be a part of that, we have some great incentives for the sponsors that want to participate. Reach out to us as well so that we can get ahead and, let you know the details and talk about how we can get that done. All right. Now that we have that out of the way, I haven't. Usually I like to shout out the birthdays, during the week. So if there's somebody whose birthday you want to celebrate that happened during this week from last week until today, feel free to, leave them in the comments. Let them know that that you recognize their birthday. In addition to that, I do want to take the time to acknowledge, I'm sure everyone in the gospel world has been notified of the passing of Bishop Kirby Brown. Those of you who may not be familiar with who he was, it's crazy to say who he was. He as my sister likes to call a singerer, he was for like old school Hezekiah Walker fans, choir fans. He was one of the ones who did a lot of the lead vocals. Some of the lead vocals, not a lot, but some of the lead vocals. One of his biggest ones is "I've Got to Make It." Man, just that particular song in itself. But there's so many songs that the man could work a drive. He could work a drive. So anyway, he passed away last Sunday. I'm not going to give any of those details, but I'm just going to say that he did pass away last Sunday. And so we want to be sending our condolences and praying for his family and his church family and anybody and everybody who he has touched, whose life he has touched. I can't remember. I have to get the information, but there is his services are going to be held, most of them in Virginia, since I believe his church was in Virginia, but they are going to bring him back to New York. I have that information somewhere. I've seen it, but what I'll do is I'll post it in the comments later on today. So if anybody would like to, to go and to celebrate with the family, be there in support of the family, you can do that. Or if you would like to just make a financial donation or be a financial blessing to his family, then there will be information on that flyer on ways you can do that as well. Hey, cuz. Thank you, Shauna. Okay, so it's not this Sunday. It's going to be not even next Sunday. It's in 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. In 2 weeks, at the Pilgrim Renaissance in Brooklyn is where they're going to have a memorial for him there. The exact dates, let me know what the exact date is, Shauna, but I want to say it's the 28th, if I'm not mistaken, the 28th more than likely, because it's not tomorrow and not the following Sunday. Here we go. Thank you. Sunday the 28th is going to be in Brooklyn at Pilgrim Renaissance. So anybody who would like to go there, get there early. What time, Shauna? What time is it? And I think I tried to go there one time, some years and years and years ago, and had to leave because I couldn't find anywhere to park. So if you're not taking a train, or not even that, matter of fact, no, it wasn't that we couldn't find anywhere to park, because it was an issue of getting inside. We were not able to get inside because it was just that crowded. So this is going to be something that is there's going to be a lot of people there. So get there as early as you can, so that you can get yourself a seat or at least get in the door, because if you can't get in, there we go. Thank you. It starts at 6 p.m. So if I were y'all, I said get there for. I'm not even kidding. Be outside at 4 o'clock. If you want to be there and you want to sit down, get there at 4. If you want to be there and have a chance to maybe have a seat, or even stand, 5. After that, it's a wrap. I'll even say 3, just to be honest. As soon as your first service is over, if you're going to if you're church in your first service, hit the road. That's what I'm gonna say. All right. So thank you, Shauna. Come on, girl. Come on. this is the address, 1333 Broadway in Brooklyn. So you have all the information here, and that is Sunday the 28th. And if you like I said, if you want to go, I'll just put it like that. I'll just put it like that. If you want to go. In addition to that, what I want to do, just as a sidebar and a side note, and something that I'm kind of learning, because this was a very sudden situation from my understanding. It was a very, very sudden. Yeah. It was very sudden. It wasn't anything expected. So that tells us there that we never know when it's our time. We never know when, and I may end up having to veer off from our topic today. But one thing that I'm learning, and I've been talking about mostly for a little bit now, is a couple of things. One, doing what it is that you were placed on this earth to do while you're here. Hey, hi, pudding pop cake. But one of the things that I am learning, and that I am starting to see an importance in more and more as the days go by, and as the months go by, and as the years go by, is how important it is to do what it is that your purpose is while you're here, while you're on this earth. Because people are up and leaving here left and right. And sometimes it's not even, like I said, this situation was sudden. I was told of what happened, but I don't feel like it's my place to say it. So I'm not going to do that. But I just know it was very sudden. It was a very sudden situation and very shocking. And just to know that 1 minute you're here, and then the very next second, you know how people used to say, here today, gone tomorrow. Listen, basically, it's you're here today, you gone in the next minute, and you just never know. So please, people, please. And again, this has been something that I have been, has really been heavy on me. And I'm, again, like I said, a lot of other people have been talking the same way. So I guess, when the Holy Spirit decides that he wants to impress some things upon us, that's exactly what he's going to do. And it's not going to just be in one area. So I'll say, please, people, do what it is that God put you on this earth to do. Fulfill your purpose. Find your purpose and fulfill it while you're here. Not just because, for just to have something to do, but because you're placed here for a reason. There's a reason why God gave whatever it is that he gave to you, what he gave to you. And in the way that he gave it to you, Dr. Seuss said there was a book that one of the books that he wrote, there's nobody who can be more youer than you, or something along those lines. Nobody can be more youer than you. But whatever the case may be, do what nobody can do. Just like so many other people can have so many different things in the same industry. There's a lot of restaurants. There are a lot of people who can make the same types of things, but nobody has your spin on it. Nobody has your method of doing things. I'm going to use, since my cousin is here, Carlene. She is an absolutely amazing graphic designer. She's amazing at a lot of things, but I'm just going to use this one particular thing. She is an amazing graphic artist. I mean, you give her an idea, and I love the method that she uses. She takes what it is that you give her, and she goes to God and asks, okay, God, what is it that you want me to do with this? And it comes out the most beautiful I have ever, when she's working on my website. I'm never not in awe. I'll just put it like that. I am never not in awe. But just because she's amazing at what she does doesn't mean that there's not other graphic designers out there who can do amazing work as well. You hear me? Hey, Cherise. Just because there are people who have, made these different dishes doesn't mean that, I'm going to tell you something. One thing that I have always bragged on is my Grammy's eggs, my Grammy's cheese eggs. Okay. Listen, When it's the truth, it's the truth, Colleen. When it's the truth, it's the truth. And yes, that was a plug too. So if anybody needs a website or anything like that, that's who you go to. Okay? Okay. But with my Grammy's eggs, right? And oatmeal, even her orange juice. You know what I mean? Like there's lots of brands of orange juice. There's lots of people who can make, cheesy eggs. There are lots of people who who can make a good thing of oatmeal. You know what I'm saying? But there was always something different about my grandmother. Oh my God, Paul! Hi! Oh my goodness, it's been years. We're gonna have to catch up later. Oh my goodness, oh my God, dude. I'm not gonna do this right now. We're not gonna do this right now. But it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. But yeah, so you're here for a reason, sir. I don't know, but you're here for something. But like I was saying with my grandmother, like there's so many different places that we can go, and so many different people who can make eggs. There's so many people who can make oatmeal. You can pour orange juice, but there ain't nobody that made it like my granny. Nobody made any. There's something different, and my point is, and then on top of that, there's other. Like even with orange juice, there's all of these different brands and things, but everybody has their own stuff. So in other words, don't ever feel like there's not a place for you. Don't ever feel like, oh, somebody else is already doing that. Somebody else is already. No, if this is what God gave you to do, sweetheart, do it. Do it, and do it the way that he wants you to do it. Don't try to be like anybody else, because you're not like anybody else. You're not anybody else. When God created you, real talk, when God created everything that God created was strategic. Okay? He did it in a manner that he knew he didn't just throw anything together. He don't do that. Everything that God does, he does in excellence. Okay? Everything that God does. So if you're here, for whatever reason, you're supposed to be here. You are supposed to be here. Listen, Sharice is on here. Get her book, because all I'm gonna say, hi Robin. Oh my Lord, y'all are showing up today. Hey honey, how are you? But get Sharice's book. All I'm gonna say about the book, well, she has a trilogy called Unnamed and Unwanted. And all I'm going to say about that, and that's going to have y'all running over to the to Amazon or to her directly, is she wasn't supposed to be here according to her mother's standards. Her mother tried to abort her and it didn't work. That's all I'm saying. Go get the books, okay? Go get the books. That's all I'm saying. So if you're supposed, and Fred Hammond is also another example of that. He was supposed to have been aborted too. You see how ridiculous this man is? Okay. So if you are here, you're here because you're supposed to be. You're here because there is something for you to do, something God wanted you to do, and he placed it inside of you, honey. So please, and I mean, there are some things that I'm working on. Like a lot of times I'm working on this myself. Don't feel like just because somebody else does things their way, or they already are doing it, that there's not a place for you. I rebuke the spirit of the imposter syndrome. Like honestly, the rooms that God has for the people that he has them for, the places that God has for us are very, very strategic, because he wants us to do what it is that he has called us to do. God is the dopest creative. Okay? Like, hold on, let's get to some of these comments. Colleen says, I always say you can be in the same category as someone else, but there's a way he wants you to do it. Exactly. And that's the amazing part of life. Absolutely. Cherie says, God does all things well and meets all needs. All needs. He does exactly. Yep. The book and a box of tissues. Thank you so much for watching, Robin. It's been so long. It's been so long. Matter of fact, Sharice and Carlene, and matter of fact, listen, everybody who's here who has a business, everybody who's here who has a book, everybody who is here who has music. I want y'all to thank you, because I was just about to tell you to do it. Matter of fact, I don't want y'all to go to Amazon. What I want y'all to do is I want y'all to buy them directly from her. I mean, okay, if you want to go to Amazon so that you can get the ratings and stuff, okay, I get that. But the reason why I like to have people, purchase from people directly sometimes is because they get 100% of the profits. That's my reason for doing that. And my cousin Cole says, be authentically you. We have enough copies. Honey, yes. We have enough copies, but not enough originators. No more imposters, divinely assigned. Leave your imprint in and on the earth. That's why we're here. That's why, listen, that's why God created us. Think about it. Like, if you haven't gotten the time, if you haven't had the chance, the opportunity, not the opportunity, but if you have not taken the time, I'll put it like that. She done spelled her own name wrong. Cherie Stevenson, yes, just inbox her to get your copies of the books. But listen, think about how, like, if you just read the beginning of the book of Genesis. Just start at the very top of the book of Genesis, and you just really, really take it in. I'm gonna tell those of us who were born and raised in church to do that too. Because we can skip over so many things and not really sit down and pay attention to exactly what is actually happening. Thank you, Carly. I told you to put your website down, ma'am. Thank you, though. Thank you. And this is what we do. We support each other. That's why we're here. This is what Speaking Plain English is all about. All right? That's what it's all about. But if you pay attention to Genesis, right? If you pay attention to the way that God decided that he wanted to create everything, he was like, you know what? Why don't we make man in our image? He was talking, he was talking to the Trinity, basically talking to himself. And don't try to say that's weird, because we do the same thing. We talk to ourselves all the time. Don't even try it. And say that you don't. Absolutely. Each new read is a new revelation. And thank you, Carlene, for adding your website in. But God decided, he was like, you know what? Why don't we, let's make a plan. Let's make man in our image and in our likeness to do some of the things that we are able to do. And what was the first thing that God decided to do? Create. That was his first task. To create. What did he create? He created a whole universe. Okay? He created an entire universe with all of every little bit of detail. He spoke it first. He said, let's do this. We're going to do this. And he made the plan. He spoke it into existence. And then got to work with it. Okay? Line upon line, precept upon precept, eat the whole scroll. G to the R. Holy. Thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. Yes, keep putting up y'all stuff, and it's going to stay in the comments. Yes. Awesome. Yep. And Sharice's like, come on, keep it coming. So imagine that's the reason why we have the capability to create. That's the reason why he put us on this earth to do the very same thing, to create. Why do you think it brings such joy? It brings God such joy to know that what he created and what he put inside of his creation can kind of, I don't want to say duplicate. There's a specific term that I'm looking for, but what we can do is we can bring forth what it is, bring to fruition and bring to life what it is that he wanted us to, that he placed us for. I'm gonna give you an example. Anybody who has ever had Legos, right? Anybody who has ever played with Legos, this is the easiest way I can put it, because I was going to go to music, but everybody doesn't know how that process goes. But if you've ever played with Legos before, right? You take these, these bricks, and then you actually like put them together, and you have a vision in mind, and you have a plan in mind. So you're like, all right, so this is what I'm going to do. And even sometimes you need instructions. You put them, you go and you create something, and then you look at it and it's like, man, this is so cool, like, or if you've ever invented something, or if you've ever written something, or if you've ever created music, like I'm man, yes, enhance and magnify God's creation. Listen, I have gotten into a place like I'm starting to work on some music myself, right? And when I tell you, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. My face is starting to hurt as much as I'm talking about it, because the creative process is so much fun. It's so much fun. And imagine what it's like to remember every song that we hear on radio, that we stream, that we hear behind in the background of movies or whatever, wherever you hear music, somebody actually had to get that from their brain first. It was nothing first. It was a blank screen, whether they use, Fruity Loops or Logic Pro or Pro Tools or GarageBand, whatever they use, whatever, software that they use, whatever DAW they use to create the music, it started here first. And what cannot be done, at least not yet, is just, saying something and it appears. You have to work that thing. You know what I mean? You have to actually put the work in. And the reason why you have to love music in order for you to be able to really, really do it, is because it's a lot of work. There's a whole if you don't enjoy it, you won't work on it. If you don't love it, you will not work on it. You'll give up quickly. And that was actually something like that was actually part of what the topic was for today was supposed to be, which is it's okay. But one of my point basically is that all the things that God has given us to do, everything that God has given us to do, it is important, it is imperative, it is vital that we get to work on that and we spend our time doing those things. Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we shall be right back.
Your grandfather drove this?
My dad told me he was gonna fix it over me.
This is the way he left it. Like everything else.
You are my son, but I'm giving you 1 month to find a job, or you can find one of your little friends that's gonna let you sleep on their couch for free.
Can I help you?
I'm just trying to talk to a young lady right here.
I need for you to leave my shop right now.
I'm gone. And I won't be back either.
That's something right there your father would do.
Well, I ain't him.
You acting like him. Boy, it's hard for a woman to call out the man and her son. I just need some prayer support.
I'm just trying to see about a job, right? I ain't heard about nothing. What, you a salesman for this company?
I'm the president. That's for more. A big part of becoming a man is showing up. Can you do that, Isaiah?
You made all these promises.
When my sister tells me that she needs prayer support, honey, I bring prayer support.
Am I in the right place?
Miss Clara!
We pray that the Lord will open Isaiah's eyes so that he could see himself the way that the Lord sees him.
You're 50 minutes early.
Hey, try not to be late again.
I want to introduce you to a small group of men that mean the world to me.
We grow together, we eat together. It's one of the most important things I've ever done in my life.
God has forgiven me so much. Who was I to refuse to forgive?
Okay, Jesus, I give it to you.
What kind of man do you want to be? And what do you want people to think when they see you coming?
We only got 6 of us, 7 including Emmett. I'm willing to go the second mile. We can't just walk out and do nothing. Let's roll.
If I may be blunt, a man stands in front of me. Isaiah, welcome to the Forge.
Now that is good. Miss Claire, I need you to come by here more often. Mm-hmm. Keisha needs you.
All right, welcome back. I wanted to make sure that I played that clip of this movie that is about to come out next month. I find that we're not getting a lot of advertising for this movie, but it looks, as you see, it looks like it's going to be a really, really good movie. So I wanted to make sure that we do promote them. Those are the makers of The War Room. If y'all haven't seen that, which was an excellent movie as well. But this one, I would say get your young men, get your youth groups. I mean, get your churches, go sell this movie out. This one, and then there's a movie out actually as well called Sound of Hope. That's also an amazing movie. I actually saw that. I went to the 4th of July. On the 4th of July, I went to go see that. It's basically, matter of fact, I'm not even going to tell y'all. Just go look it up. It's in theaters now. Sound of Hope is in theaters now. And they're not doing very much promotion for it. And that makes me upset because there's all these movies that are actually about stuff. I mean, not to say that some other ones aren't, but these are wholesome movies, like really, really good movies. And we all know how this world is. So anything that actually is going to bring some hope, nobody really wants to promote that. You know what I mean? At least not in Hollywood. So I'm all for it. You guys go look forward to seeing The Forge. Go look in to see Sound of Hope. And, you know, if y'all want to go to the movies, those are the types of things that you want to see. You feel me? All right. So getting back to what I was saying, here's a comment. Sharice said, people want the promise without the price without paying the price. Right, exactly. So my point, and I'm going to kind of segue into what today's topic is originally supposed to be about, which I have not put up here, is, understand that it is, that it's okay. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is in a minute. Cuz said, love it. I'm going to see it. Most definitely sending. Yeah. Yes, definitely with the men's groups. Great idea. Excellent idea. So the whole thing that I was thinking about, actually, I'm going to say that speaking of movies, Inside Out 2 actually was that was the impetus for me to even have this discussion about things being okay, about it being okay, learning how to take our emotions. And I need them to make a part 3 with Logic, when they meet Logic, because that's a whole other world. But understanding that our emotions are all here, they're all here to help us to get through each day, basically at each moment. And the part that I loved about I'm not going to tell the movie, but I love how they all, they all were themselves. I'll put it like that. Each emotion was themselves, and it showed at the end of the day that they all have a place and they all have a purpose. I'm learning that in therapy as well. Every single emotion, even anxiety, has a purpose in their place, which is what basically we've been talking about. Doing what it is that your purpose is, doing what it is that you've been called to do, what you've been placed on this earth to do, so that imagine if everybody just did that. Imagine if everybody worked on what it is that they were supposed to be working on. Life would be so much better and happier. Like, in addition, I'll put it like this, in addition to that, part of these, the emotional part of it, because if we don't get our emotions and things in check, if we don't allow emotions and our logic to come together, then we're not going to be able to think clearly. We're not going to be able to think straight. We're not going to be able to do what it is that we were placed to do, because we'll be so worried and so, focused on trying to get our own selves together, which should be a priority. Getting our own mental stability together, getting our health together. And that should be a priority too. It should absolutely be a priority to get our mental health, our physical health, our spiritual health. All of that is important. It's all important, and it's all a part of being able to, if you can balance out life, if you can balance out, your emotions, and, get yourself in what's called a wise mind, which is where you acknowledge your emotions and understand this is what this is. And there's also, this is the logical side. Like, for example, if I was to, like, if you're at work, right, and your supervisor decides that they want to, wanted to get nasty. Like, they wanted to talk to you all kinds of way, and like talk to you like, they're condescending, and they're talking to you like a kid and trying to make demands out of you, like, you are their child. You have two options. I'm sure your emotions are going to rise up and want to knock them dead in their jaw. But at the other hand, you have your logic telling you, okay, if I do this right now, if I knock them in their jaw, I might be without a job and I might go to jail. So you have one side of what, understanding and acknowledging what you feel and being like, okay, I have the right to feel this way. I have the right to be upset. I have the right to be angry. I have the right to want to knock them in their mouth. But I understand that if I do that, there are consequences that I have to face. So taking those both, and acknowledging and validating both sides of what you're feeling and, and your logic, you can bring those together to come to a wise decision, which is if you are able to, let them know, listen, I hear you, I get you, but what you're not going to do is you're not going to talk to me in that manner. Or say it in an email. That's the best way to do it, handle things like that. Paper trails, because you can't deny those. It's there. Anytime anybody wants to try to come back to try to say this, that, and third, this is the proof that I have. You know what I mean? So that's part of what I mean. So understand, so that we can understand that in order for us to do what it is that we've been placed on this earth to do, that we have to get ourselves in check. We have to have our own minds right. We have to have our health intact as well. And that's something that we really take for granted, our health. I'm in my older ages. I'm 42, and I'm just now, I can't say that I'm just now, but for years and years, I had been struggling with, doing what it needs to be doing, finding out what works for me and being consistent with my health. One thing that I'm not going to do is quit though. There have been, when I say quit, I mean get to the point where I'm like, just forget it. I didn't try it all the time. I'm just going to not care anymore. I'm never going to not care. I may struggle. I may, have my, my days where it's like, I'm good for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, but then I drop off again, but what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to ever stop. I'm never going to ever quit, because honestly, especially now, what I desire to do is, and this is part of the reason why your mental health is very, very important, because if you can't train your mind to, sometimes push, not even just push, but acknowledge what it is. Okay, I don't feel like doing this today, but so let's see. What happens if I don't do this today? if I don't work out today, if I don't go for a walk today, if I don't do at least something today, I'm going to be mad at myself later, because I know what my goal is. I know what I want to do. I know the type of life that I want to live. And in order for me to do that, I have to be in the most healthiest state that I can possibly be. So what do? Like, if you can get your mind in that place where you talk to yourself, because sometimes that's what we need to do. Sometimes we need to literally have a conversation with ourselves. And what does it for me, for the most part, is telling myself, Roberta, show up for you. Show up for yourself. I don't know what it is about that particular phrase that gets me going every time. That tells me, and even sometimes I have to tell myself over and over and over again. Like, in one of my stories the other day, one of the things that I have been challenged to do was take to do my workout during the day, and then do a 15-minute walk after dinner. Go on a walk, for 15 minutes after dinner. So I didn't actually, I was working on things. I was working on stuff. So I didn't actually carve that time out, that time for dinner. And I didn't really have any. I did eat something, but it was in the middle of working, which is a whole another thing about taking time to do specific things mindfully. I'm learning so much. But the plan was to have dinner and then go walking afterwards. But what I was doing is I ate something in the middle of me working, or right after me work. No, I was working on some stuff, and I'm hungry, but I don't want to stop what I'm doing. So what I did was I ate something real quick and then got back to started working. And then by the time I was done, I was tired, and I'm like, I didn't do my walk. I was actually about to go to bed. I'm not even gonna lie. I was about to head to bed. I was literally about to get to bed. But then I told myself, I said, Roberta, do not give up on yourself. Show up for you. Show up for yourself. Learn to show up for yourself. And I envisioned myself getting up and going outside and going for the walk. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it. I have to do this on several occasions where I've had to talk myself into doing what it is that I said that I was going to do, because I don't always want to do it. And that's okay. It's okay that we don't always want to do it, but just understand that when you give into what you don't want, it's all about learning how to discipline yourself. That I'm learning that if you can train your mind to push yourself past what you feel at the moment, acknowledge that you feel this way, but then be like, I understand I feel this way. Okay, but do I have enough energy to at least do this? Do I have enough energy to at least do, because if I don't do what I said that I was going to do, it's not going to get done, and I still am going to need to do it, and I'm going to be even more upset with myself, and I don't want that. And then it's going to take me that much longer to reach the goal that I want, which there's a few goals, but overall, I just want to be healthy in every aspect of life. That's my goal. And it's a work in progress. It's definitely a work in progress, especially when you're used to doing things a certain way, when you're used to thinking a certain way. So it's about, I'm learning how to retrain myself, retrain my brain to understand what it is that Roberta deserves. And Roberta deserves a healthy, happy life in whatever form that comes in, which is however God wants me to have it. Because at the end of the day, that's what he wants for us too. He wants for us to be able to live healthy. He wants us to be able to be happy. And in order for us to, the most reason why he wants he wants us to be able to do that is because when we are at our best, we can do the work that he's put us on this earth to do better, more efficiently. That's why a lot of entertainers and artists have to start working out regularly, because that takes a lot of physical strength to be, and it takes a lot of endurance to be up on the stage running back and forth. You kidding me? Are you kidding me? All of that is necessary. Like, so that's taking care of ourselves is part of taking care of our purpose, ensuring that we're able to do our purpose. There are a lot of and again, like I say that the mental health part of it is so vital and important as well, especially when it comes to certain positions of leadership and serving in general. Serving in general. If you provide a service to somebody, regardless of what it is, if your job is, and that's what most occupations and most jobs and most pretty much anything that we do is serving a purpose. The purpose is to serve other people. Music, yes, that's for us too. It's for us, the writers and the artists. I'm not an artist, but a writer. The writers and the entertainers and the vocalists and the musicians. All of that, yes, it does do something for us first, but at the end of the day, what we would love is what we want to do is exactly what God did. Take what it is that we've created and share it with the world so that they can also feel and understand and be able to appreciate and enjoy what it is that we've created. So if we are not okay here, we won't be okay here. If we're not okay here, and not okay here, we won't be okay here. In other words, the things that our hands are put to do, we won't be okay with that. We'll be half doing things. You know what I'm saying? So it all comes together. It all comes together. We're gonna take a really quick break, one more time, and then we will be back.
Praise FM. Praise FM is celebrating Dr. Lady Rain's 20 years in ministry on Friday, July 19th, 2024 at Praise Fest Vegas, held at the Griffin Studios Event Center, hosted by stellar award-winning artist Christina Holloway and EJ Giroux. We will have VIPs and a filled artist lineup, including our original Praise Fest artist, Trent Gaddison. Christian hip-hop recording artist, William T. Stars. Master P's executive producer, Rizzo. And an inspiring, motivating message by Tiana Vaughn Johnson.
Are you interested in continuing your education, certificate, or degree that will prepare you for ministry and equip you in the marketplace? Come make Christ Central International University your home by registering to become a certified Christian published author, Christian life and career coach, chaplain, and get your bachelor's, master's, PhD degree. Visit us at www.myccu.online.
Have you ever wanted to host your own inspirational radio show? Have you been called to inspire and spread God's word? Please contact Alicia Rain for more info.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure if the first one played on your end, but what are we gonna do? All right. So that's basically it that I have for you. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to spend your Saturday with me. But at the end of the day, do what you're here for. Take the steps that you need to do what you're here for, even if the first step is research. And understand that we need you. You're needed. You are needed. What you think about it this way. Because, like I said, everything that God does is strategic. Everything that He does on purpose. If you have something that somebody needs, if you have a gift that somebody they're going to need what you have or what you're capable of or your service. They're going to need your services, or they're going to need your product. And you don't do what it is that God gave you to do, somebody is going to be lacking. Somebody is not going to have something that they need because you decided, yeah, I'm putting that on us. I'm putting that on me too. I'm putting that on, like everything that I say, please understand that I'm talking to me first. Please understand that. But if we decide that we can't, or we're too fearful to take a step and to start doing what it is that we've been placed on this earth to do, somebody will have need of what we are able to do and have to settle for something less than what they are supposed to have. Because what we have, what we're given, may be the exact perfect thing that they need. The way that we do things is exactly the way that we need to do it. The ingredient that you put in that meal is exactly what they needed to make the perfect flavor and not be as unhealthy as, and be a healthier option so that they can live longer and still enjoy food. That design that somebody needs may be off just a little bit. Somebody else may have done it. It's like, oh, it's good, but it's not exactly what I need. So if we aren't in our place, if we don't share our gifts and our talents and with the world, then somebody is going to go lacking because we decided not to do what we were supposed to do. To some people that might like, well, that just sucks for them. But imagine if it was you. Imagine if there was something that you just can't get right because the person is not in place to do what it is or to give you that service, render that service or product that they need. Have you ever ladies, bra shopping, okay? Tell me you have not ever experienced getting all of these different sizes and everything there. We find something that suffices, but it's just something is always, whether, it's the cup isn't big enough or it's too small or the strap, you know what I'm saying? Or the whatever situation that we cannot find the perfect bra. Like it took us a long time, if you found it, to find the perfect size that fits us the best and most comfortable way. Imagine if there was not a company. Like for me, there was a shop that I found that my sister told me about, a lingerie shop in Harlem, I think it was, called Lady Love. I went there. I never got the lady's name, but I went there once. And because I'm like, I need some new bras. And this lady that works there, kid you not, she looked at me. She didn't have to measure nothing or anything. She looked at me and was like, this is your size. And I was like, I looked at her like, what? I've never even heard of this before. She looked at me and said, this is your size. You can find stuff for you over here. And I'm like, I've never even heard of that size before. But she told me, she said, trust me, go look. And she was so confident that she was right that she gave me the chance to try it on. She said, try it on. I'm like, try it on? Like, This is a bra. How in the world do you want me to try on a bra? Like, that's kind of nasty, because what if it don't fit? That's how confident she was. I promise you, I was very, very skeptical about it at first, because I'm like, I don't know how many people have tried this thing on. But I did. And I'm like, yo, this joint fits perfectly. Perfectly. Perfect. And she said, I told you I know what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I ended up buying them. And a couple other ones. So imagine if that lady wasn't there. Then I would not know what my exact size is and what company to get it from, because the store is no longer there anymore. However, what I was able to do was find the name of the company who made the bra. So now I know. And again, imagine if those people never made these. You feel me? I'm just saying, like, if we are not where we are supposed to be, somebody is going to miss out, including ourselves. Including ourselves. One thing that I'm going to be out in a minute. One thing that I really, really pray for, in addition to those who are fearful of failure, are those who are fearful of success. Those who have had it so hard in life that they feel like anything good is foreign. Anything good they run from. Anything that is moving too easily, anything that is moving, that is happening for them, that brings them joy, they have to smother it with, okay, what if? How long is this going to last? Can I tell on myself for a second? I'm going to tell on myself for a second. So I recognized something about me recently. And I'm like, man, and this is what led me to think that. Say what I just said. I know that every time I work on music, I know that every time I work out, I enjoy it. I enjoy it so much. I enjoy the sweat. I enjoy the process. You know what I'm saying? So why is it so difficult for me to do it? I noticed that about me recently. It can be very difficult sometimes when I'm actually staying in that place of happiness, staying in that place of joy, because it's sometimes it can be foreign. It can be like, because I'm so used to, having to push and push and push and push to do things, that feels more familiar. Struggle feels more familiar. Ain't that crazy? Doesn't it? It's not crazy. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. But think about that. Think about that. Sometimes people feel like struggling is more familiar. Having to work super hard for something is so familiar that, or being uncomfortable or being let down is so familiar that anytime they get into, they'd rather stay there. They'd rather do things the hard way. Not because they can't do it the easy way, but because it's uncomfortable. That's why a lot of people stay in relationships that are toxic too, because this is what I'm used to. At least I know this is what I'm going to get. At least I know I'm expecting to be hurt by this person. I'm expecting, this, that, and the I'm expecting that. I'm expecting that. Joel says sometimes it's simply the environment you got to live in He's really got to make the best of things. Some of us struggle, big God. Some of us struggle, big God still be blessing us through. No, he do. He does. He definitely does. But sometimes what he wants, sometimes what God wants for us to do, matter of fact, to be perfectly honest, I'll put it this way. I believe that God wants, first of all, it's scripture that I believe it was Paul. I'm not 100% sure, but he said, above all things, I would that you would prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. And then on top of that, God himself said that he wants us to cast our cares on him because he cares for us. So in other words, we're not supposed to be doing, first of all, we weren't made and built to struggle. We're going to do that. The reason why we do struggle is because of sin. Because sin entered the earth. Because of disobedience. And that's still what happens now. Most of our reasoning for the struggling that we have to go through is because we're not obedient. We're not allowing God to lead us and guide us in everything. We want to do things our own way. I get it. Sometimes my phone autocorrects. It's not. Trust me. I understand. I be fighting and arguing with my phone all the time. So I get it. It's okay. But think about that. So my prayer is that we get out of, that we're delivered and we're set free from feeling like it's not okay to be happy, feeling like struggle is the only way to live, because it's not. Freedom is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And it's what God wants for us. Okay? So live in your purpose and walk in your purpose. And let's understand that your like in the movie, every emotion that we have has a purpose. And so does logic. We just have to learn how to balance them out. And the best way to do that is by asking God, how do I handle such and such? What do I do about such and such? This is what you have for me to do. How do I do it? This is what you have for me. How do I obtain it? How do I get myself ready for it? What do I need to do? What's my part? And that is all. You guys have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful Saturday. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Speaking Plain English. Until next time.